Kugisaki Nobara vs Ochako Uraraka. This is a matchup that I see come up every now and then, and I kinda wanted to talk about it, especially since I kinda did a little poll on this a while ago and y'all seemed really opinionated, so I thought why not, a quick video on that. And honestly, I think this is actually a really interesting fight, one that's definitely a lot closer than I think people give it credit. But before the content, this video is sponsored by Gojo vs Makima, the animation. More about that at the end of the video. Now, Ochako vs Nobara is pretty interesting to me because both of their powers are very unconventional. Their abilities do allow them to kill, but there are enough conditions and a need for setup that they both have to be smart about how they use them. Unlike their respective protagonists who ultimately rely on punching and kicking hard, Ochako and Nobara don't quite have that luxury. So let's talk about what they can do. Nobara is able to use the straw doll technique. Equipped with her hammer and nails, her most basic way of fighting is enhancing these things with cursed energy and hitting people really hard, which does give her good options in a fight because that covers both ranged and close combat. And with her hairpin attack, she can set her nails to go off in a burst of cursed energy. This is good both for directly attacking someone and also impacting the environment around her target should she miss with her nails. And then we have the core of her straw doll technique, the straw doll. With it, she can use an attack called resonance, where if she attaches it to the body part of someone, striking that part of them with one of her nails causes immense damage to the owner of said body part. So she has her basic forms of attack, but with proper setup, she's a real threat to anyone she can outmaneuver. In contrast, Ochako's quirk Zero Gravity is much simpler, but still quite versatile. She can nullify gravity's effect on anything she touches, and when she puts her fingertips together like this, she undoes her quirk. She supposedly has a limit of 3 tons of weight that she can nullify, but no, she doesn't. Especially by the final war arc, but we'll get to that. In fact, I will discuss the things she does in the manga, but we'll talk about that later in the video. For now, let's keep it to the anime. In addition to her quirk, she also has these grappling hooks, great for maneuvering objects that she's made weightless and using them as weapons, or swinging around after making herself weightless. But how do these two characters stack up against each other? In terms of physical stats, Nobara is a pretty clear winner. Full disclosure, if they just start hitting each other, Nobara is probably gonna win that, especially considering her main weapon is a hammer. It's hard to say exactly how powerful she is, but what we can say is that she is a grade 3 sorcerer who are defined by being able to kill grade 3 curses. Grade 3 curses are beatable with the firepower of a handgun. Plus, by the end of season 1, she was recommended for promotion to grade 1, and grade 1 curses take more firepower to kill than what a tank can deliver. Now, this was a long-winded way for me to say that I don't think Ochako can survive a tank, or a well-aimed gun for that matter. A good hit with her hammer is going to do major damage, and a direct shot of hairpin is probably going to end the fight. But that doesn't mean Ochako has no options, especially since she knows gunhead martial arts, which is best suited for subduing opponents by catching and redirecting their attacks. She doesn't need to have a power advantage to survive up close. Plus, one touch from Ochako is gonna make Nobara weightless, and the moment that happens is the moment that she kinda just floats on up. And Ochako can choose to either let her keep floating up or drop her from a very high height. And Nobara will die in that case. Now obviously this is very out of character for Ochako, but that's the nature of this kind of video. Normally she'd never fight anyone to the death if she can help it. But this requires Ochako to get close. I guess part of this comes down to speed scaling, but they shouldn't be too far apart there. Ochako is just a particularly agile human being, and with the use of her quirk and gear, she has a lot of maneuverability. Nobara can enhance her speed with cursed energy, but she was still slower than a Yuji that was barely able to react to the supersonic piercing blood technique, so she still isn't all that much faster in comparison. One advantage Nobara has is her range advantage with her nails, which yeah, if one hits Ochako, then she probably ends up losing the fight. But if they miss, they might actually be a disadvantage to Nobara. She loves using hairpin on the surrounding environment when she misses, pieces, but the resulting rubble gives Ochako an edge. The more rubble, the more she's able to use in a fight, whether she has it ready for a big attack like in the sports festival, or she wants to use it as ranged attacks. At the end of the day, I think this is a fight that could go either way. Neither of them are stupid, and they both have solid win conditions if they play their cards right. I think Ochako has an overall advantage in her abilities, but Nobara is also better suited for combat, especially in terms of experience. The fight really comes down to the details of how they would approach it. Also, I know that some people are gonna bring up that Nobara has pulled off a Black Flash in a past fight, but we've already established that Nobara has a greater output, so an even harder hit doesn't really mean much. Now that's all just what they can do in their respective anime, so what have these characters been up to in the current manga? Well, in a climactic fight with Toga, Ochako was not only agile enough to outmaneuver a literal tidal wave of people all intent on killing her, she also managed to awaken her quirk, making it so her gravity negation propagates through things, kind of like Shigaraki's decay, so she doesn't even have to touch a person to make them float. Now, what has Nobara been up to in the manga? Not much. So how would this fight go if we were using their characters at their absolute best? That's a very good question. The answer is that Ochako wins. Hands down, no contest, she just wins. She uses her quirk awakening to make Nobara weightless without touching her, and then she fulfills her win condition. Ochako is just kinda ridiculous in the manga now, able to negate the weight of countless people. And I mean that literally, I have no idea how to count that. That has to be at least hundreds of thousands of people. Literal tidal waves of people. I wouldn't be surprised if Ochako could basically pick up a building and throw it at someone now. The only thing that holds her back at this point is that outside of a video like this, she's a nice person and she doesn't really want to hurt anyone. Then again, this is all just my take and you're welcome to disagree. But if you liked the video, feel free to show it by liking, subscribing, and giving your own thoughts in the comments below. But before signing off, it's time to talk about this video's sponsor, me. I already made a video talking about it, but for the past few months, I have been producing an animation of Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen versus Makima from Chainsaw Man. One of the coolest matchups of modern shonen, and it's our intention to show it. It'll be in traditional 2D animation as you're all used to with both shows, and this is backed by some amazing animators that I have brought onto the project. But unfortunately, we can't do this alone, so if you want to support the project, sign up for the Patreon to get a look behind the scenes like character sheets, storyboards, and all kinds of fun stuff. Or if you want to donate a specific amount, we also have a Ko-Fi available, links in the description below. If this all sounds cool to you, be sure to check them out and keep up with the updates. Also, shout out to our Honored 1 tier patrons, Sage, Hardy Hologram, Golden Dom. Thank you so much for your support. But that's the video, so take care and have a good one.